And several studies show more kids get arrested come the summer months. According to the Council on Criminal Justice, juvenile arrests go up by 19% from June to July and then 28% from July to August. And it's a problem we've seen here in Colorado as well. It's created a need for more beds at juvenile detention centers all across the state.
Absolutely. Last month, Governor Jared Polis even signed a bill into law designed to increase the emergency bed capacity at these facilities. Denver 7's Allie Jennerjohn is outside Denver's detention center. And Allie, you've been looking into why these beds could really be such an important solution.
Yeah, Perry May with the State Department of Human Services says that they've seen a 21% increase in the number of youth that need detention services at places like this one across the state. So this bill, it does not increase the total bed cap, but what it does is increase the amount of emergency beds that can be used. And this is actually the opposite of what we've been seeing for about 2 decades, according to May. He says we've been slowly decreasing that bed cap. Now, of course, we're increasing it. So take a look at these numbers. In 2003, it was 479. Now it's 215. And again, that will not change. But now 39 emergency beds will be available when those beds are full.
When a facility is full and the emergency beds are being used, then judges have to make a decision about whether a youth can be released or not in order to accommodate another youth coming in. I think what this does is it allows us to ensure that youth are not released prior to there being the appropriate level of service for them in the community before they're released. So it does improve community safety.
The Colorado District Attorney's Council spearheaded this bill. One of their members say centers across the state were running at or above capacity for the majority of this past year. They say in a statement, quote, "This increase in violent youth crime put enormous strain on the system and jeopardized public safety. Last fiscal year, the cap was exceeded 13 times and jurisdictions had to resort to using emergency beds 210 times. Now, I also reached out to Governor Jared Polis. He was not available for an interview, but I took a look at that bill, and it says that they're allocating close to $7 million to the Department of Human Services to get all of this done. And then a spokesperson told me in a statement in part that the bill will provide grants to help prevent youth crime. And it did add some support to help them hopefully get out of these centers more quickly.
Now, Allie, you're talking about this increase in violent crime among young people, but how does this compare to the reports that you followed that show a steep drop in those homicides all across the state?
Yeah, I spoke to a criminologist at the University of Denver, and he was saying that we've actually are seeing right now one of the steepest declines in homicides across our state, across the nation. And that's true when you look at crime trends specifically from some police data across our area. But what we're seeing, what we're talking about here are kids. And yes, we are seeing an increase in violent crime within, but that overall average, we're still seeing an overall decrease. So definitely a lot to dig through and a lot to consider. But I'm continuing to answer questions about stories like this. If you have questions about this or another story you want me to look into, just scan this QR code on your screen. You can send me a message over email and I'll get back to you. Live in Denver, Allie Jennerjohn, Denver 7.